We are here tonight. Okay, now we are in two places. So Lord help us. All right, we are here tonight. We had to get very creative in how we did this. And so if you would, if you could, yep, I see y'all jumping in on Facebook and I see you jumping in on StreamYard. Thank you so much. Somebody say I'm gonna hold as long as I can, Pastor. It's my bedtime. All right, I'll take it. Okay. All right. Thank y'all so much for joining us. Thank you so much tonight for your patience. Man, we are excited about this Bible study that we're going to be doing tonight. And I don't even know if I can call it Bible study. And the reason why I don't know if I can call it Bible study is because this month we are supposed to be starting a series. Well, tonight we're supposed to be starting a series called Questions That Matter. And Questions That Matter is actually about exactly what it says it is, questions that matter. So we were going to be addressing different questions that you may have about the Bible, talking about anything from the Godhead, eschatology, anything like that. Okay, somebody said we are turned sideways. So let me fix that. Okay, amen. All right. I hope that works fine. Okay.
We're going to get there, y'all.
We're going to get there. I don't usually.
Thank you, champion.
Okay. Yeah, I'm R. Kelly. Usually I don't do this. But I'm y'all getting the remix tonight. All right. So hopefully that is working well. So tonight we are jumping in, talking about relationships, man, marital stuff, dating stuff. On Sunday, I ended up preaching a message that I did not know that it would be this this man, how can I put it? I didn't know it would end up being this confrontational or popular. Okay. All right. So I didn't know it would end up this popular. I did not know it would end up taking
a lot of discussion.
Right, causing so much discussion. And so the title of the message was The Danger of Truth, the unofficial eulogy of Mr. Kevin Samuels. And so that was a doozy of a message, and it caused a lot of discussion. It caused a lot of questions that came in. And so the questions that we got this week for Bible study ended up being all about that. And so those of you who sent in questions about more so biblical things, we're going to get to that next week and the week after. But man, tonight, I guess we would go ahead and jump in the water while it's hot. Speaking of hot water, because we had technical difficulties tonight, there's not too many of you guys online live. Can you please do your pastor a favor and hit that share button? Make sure you hit like. It helps all the algorithms and all that good stuff. Okay, so tonight I'm jumping straight into questions. There will not be any prayer tonight. We're gonna cancel prayer tonight because well, this is probably gonna go into the stratosphere with some of these questions, and so I had to call an audible tonight. Please pray on your own. Prayer is never canceled, but as far as corporate prayer, please make sure that you do that at home with your families or your loved ones. All right, let's jump right in. Okay, so we got quite a bit of questions to cover, and I guess let's do it. All right, so the first question that we got, babe, pull it up and go ahead and let me know. Okay.
All right, the first question. Ready?
Yeah, go ahead. The first question.
First question says, how do I help Henry move into his potential?
How do I help Henry move into his potential?
Good question.
Okay. For those of you who did not join us Sunday, I think I should start there.
Get some background on who Henry is.
Henry is a term that Mr. Samuels used. Who is Mr. Samuels? Mr. Samuels was a controversial YouTube figure that actually did a lot of discussion about relationships. And he really popularized several phrases. And those phrases existed prior to him, but he popularized them. Things like high value man, phrases and stuff like phrases and catchphrases, euphemisms, things like that. He actually ended up popularizing them. And so Henry was one of those things that he popularized, and Henry simply stands for Henry. HENRY stands for high earning, not rich yet. Okay, high earning, not rich yet. That is Henry. And then you have other names or other things that he would bring on, such a high value man, or HVM. You also, I want to introduce a new term tonight.
Okay.
I want to introduce Henry.
Henry.
Henry. That is a John Russell. Somebody type that in. That is a John Russell exclusive.
No
Henry.
H.
No H.
No
It's
H.
Henry without the H. It's ENRY. Henry. Okay. What is Henry? Henry is earning, not rich yet.
All right.
He ain't high earning.
Not yet.
He just got some. But he got a job.
He's on his way, maybe. But he's employed.
He's employed. Okay. Absolutely. Maybe we can call it, look, shoot, employed, not rich yet.
There you go.
Okay, so y'all vote on it. Anyway, earning, not rich yet, or employed, not rich yet. But Henry is high earning, not rich yet. And so the question was, how do I help Henry move into his potential? Okay, so we defined Henry. Shameless plug. If you did not see the message on Sunday, go back and watch it. All right. Okay. First of all, some men, I want to start here. Some men believe that they are high value and they may not be.
That's right.
Okay. They may not be. Now, everybody's valuable. Okay. So I want to start there. Everybody is valuable. Okay. Everybody is valuable. But value is going to be determined on the location or the group. Okay. Yes. A fisherman is valuable around the body of water. If we hungry and there's a body of water, a fisherman is going to be valuable to the group. Someone who is a fisherman might not be as valuable to the group if we're in the middle of the desert, where there is no water. But everybody is valuable in their own right. Again, let's define these terms. So when you hear the term high value, I'm getting to your question, but I gotta set you up because I gotta make sure I don't have no major backlash. Okay. Correct. Okay. So high value. Let's just break it down. High value man. High is defined as greater than normal, in quantity, size, or intensity.
That's right.
High. Okay. Next word will be value. Value is defined as the regard of something held to deserve the importance, worth, or usefulness of something.
That's right.
Okay? The regard of something held to deserve the importance, worth, or usefulness. And then man, an adult human being, right? So to define high value man, if you took all those words and put them together, it simply means an adult human male of greater than normal importance or usefulness to a specific group. Okay. All right. So an adult human male of greater than normal importance or usefulness to a specific group. If we starving and we near water and there's only one guy that know how to fish, he is a high value man.
Good example.
in that. However, if we're in the middle of the jungle and all we got is a rifle or a bow and arrow and there's no water, that fisherman might not be high value. Now it's the guy that know how to hunt.
That's right.
Okay, because he's important to our group. Okay, so case in point, my wife still has her baby blanket. Okay, and to her it's worth so much. Okay, she don't let the dog get on it. Don't let
nobody.
Yep, exactly. Is washed a certain way and all this stuff. She loves her baby blanket. Her deceased grandmother made it, and to her it's very valuable. However, the market value, okay, if we were going to sell it, all right, the market value of it is probably $5.
You gotta say it like
it's
that.
$5. It's a 40-year-old
Right.
quilt. You know what I
Right.
mean? And so it's valuable to you,
Right.
and it's valuable to our family,
Yes.
that group, but it's not as valuable to society as a whole.
Right.
Big picture.
That's right.
Okay. All right. And so defining that, man, we'll deal with. We dealt with it Sunday, so I'll just skim through it. But it's about 6 things, right? It's money, how much money he makes, the consistency of him making that money, the group acceptance, meaning other high value men know him, the network, okay, that he's in, right? In other words, he is influential within a circle of high value men. In other words, he can make some phone calls and make some stuff happen. You know, when a guy can make some phone calls, when he can make some phone calls and get some folk in school, when he can make phone calls and get people jobs and get people into college and connections, exactly. Get folk voted for, all that type crazy stuff. That's high value. All right. Visibility. People should be able to see what he does and understand how he makes money. So your drug dealer boyfriend is not high value. I'm sorry. He can't put it on LinkedIn. What it is that he does. He can't put it on LinkedIn. So we might need to run away from him. And then last but certainly not least, and this is a big one, usefulness to his group. In other words, if can't nobody else benefit off of what he brings to the table but him, then he's really not of any value to anyone else. And you can put she in front of this, females, whatever, however you want to do it. But that's really how society since the 80s has defined high value. And you can feel free. You can feel free to add to that. Because high value to you might include all of those things, but I gotta have integrity. I gotta be loyal, faithful, character, things like that. So feel free to add to it, but that's your foundation. Okay, how do I help Henry get into his potential? High earning, not rich yet, or Henry. How do we do it? Number one, the first thing you have to do is you have to let Henry or Henry know that he is living beneath what you see in him.
That's good. That's good.
Notice, it's not you letting him know you ain't what I thought you was. You ain't as good as I thought you would be. You ain't all that. No. That's harmful.
That's right.
That's harmful. It's in how you say it. You should be encouraging him. Yeah. How did you say what you're saying? So you got to let him know, hey, babe, I see so much in you. I see so much in you. I don't want you to get caught up in the small stuff that's stopping you from being so big. How he going to argue with that?
Ooh, my.
How you gonna argue with that?
That's right.
Yeah, don't get caught up in the small stuff, baby. Right. That stuff keeping you from being big. That stuff is stopping you from being awesome. That stuff, I think will really help people.
That's right.
Tap into something real good. Also, the second thing I think you should do is make suggestions, but don't make them too strongly. Okay, there's a difference between suggesting something and demanding something. Hand me that napkin. There's a difference between suggesting something and demanding something. Make suggestions. Oh, babe, I really think this would be good for you. Or here's a big one, sweetheart. Have you considered?
It's the way that you frame the suggestion, the recommendation.
Oh yeah.
Because ultimately, if you're trying to help your Henry to move to his potential, you're a helpmeet.
Yes.
And you help meet the need, you help meet the priorities, and your words are life. And
death.
Yeah, or death. Correct.
Amen.
That's Bible, by the way. So you have to use your words very wisely and
Yes.
ensure that it's packaged the right way, because your tone and the words that you use have the ability to pierce rather than nurture.
Wow.
Yeah.
Say that again. Pierce rather than nurture.
Correct. Your words, depending upon your tone and your word choice,
Yes.
will make the world of difference in what comes out of that man.
Right. Remember, the objective is not to get your point across. The objective is to get him to want to do better.
Absolutely.
Okay. Also, a third thing that you can do is do whatever you can to make sure your Henry or Henry gets around more guys that are going to encourage him to do more. Men are naturally competitive. Right? We are competitive, but at the same time, we if we're smart, and I don't want to say smart, meaning, and I don't mean smart as far as how well you scored on the SAT,
right,
but I mean smart in the sense of I know how to put my pride aside and get information from people who are willing to assist. Bishop just said something awesome. I see it on the screen. He says, understand the role of a helpmeet. It is the definition of wife. Become what you would want. That is so big, Bishop. How would you want to be spoken to?
That's right.
Yeah. How would you want Henry to tell you you need to do better? How would you want Henry to tell you your collard greens nasty?
My.
Do you want to hear my collard greens nasty? Or do you want to hear,
honey,
baby, listen, this macaroni and cheese is banging. This fried chicken is banging. The only thing, the collard greens were a little too salty. But I'm telling you, once you get that right, oh, yes, sir. Yes. So now, also, Bishop, you just really sparked something. This was not in my notes, but I want to add something that kind of goes with really what you just said. When you said that the wife must remember that she's a helpmeet. Watch this. Henry, and even high value. Okay, wherever you rank men, you should remember that she is your helpmeet.
Not your enemy.
Not your enemy.
Yes.
She's not there to be your enemy. She is your friend, your lover, your confidant, your helpmeet. Yes. So that is what she is. Men, do not be afraid to accept your wife's suggestions. You are not less than a man. Hear me. You are not less than a man. Hear me. You are not less than a man. Okay? Because your wife suggested something or told you you should do something. Watch this. And it worked.
Yes.
Now, women, you got to be careful, because you don't need to become the nagging one that sits there and says, I told you so. Didn't I tell you?
Right. Oh, you have to do that on the inside, okay? You can pat yourself on the back and be like, when you walk away, but never, ever do that to their face.
Right, you can't do that. Come on.
Look, because they know.
Yeah, we know.
They know exactly the conversation that happened before that.
We know. We don't need you looking at us with the smile frown. That's my good friend Pastor Terrence would say. You sitting there looking at each other with the smile frown. Yeah, like. Yeah, I know.
Do it on the inside.
Right. Okay. And if he's anything like me, I'll go ahead. I like to address the elephant in the room. Yeah, baby, you told me. I knew I should have listened to you. I knew that's what you're there for. All right. So here we go. That's how you can help Henry or Henry, whatever he is, high earning, not rich yet, or just employed, not rich yet. Or we might have to call him Henry with an E at the end. Employed, not rich, ever. He's just there. All right. So he's just there, and that's cool. That's fine. I ain't rich. Hey, a lot of people ain't rich. Right. Well, we praying. Yes. We praying. Y'all pray. Y'all pray, saints. Pray. Hallelujah. All right. So here we go. Number 2, the second question we got. Wow. How important is salary while looking for a mate?
And this question came from a woman.
Yes, this question came from a woman. So, how important is salary when looking for a mate? Ugh. Okay. All right. Y'all, if y'all like this, please give us some hearts, give us some likes, share, share, share. Your girlfriend needs this, your homeboy needs this, your cousin needs this, okay? The family member that has a new man or new boo every Thanksgiving, yeah, they need this. All right, here we go. All right, how important is salary while looking for a mate? All right, first thing I want to say is that depends on the woman.
It's personal.
Yeah, say it again, baby.
It's personal.
It's personal. Yeah. All right, so I want you to, we're going to answer this question by having you ask yourselves some questions. You dating women, you women that are in waiting, you women that are diamonds that are sitting there. I believe all y'all are diamonds. Beauty is in the eye of the beholder. So, that's just my stance. In a way, I believe I should say this. I'm not going to say that. I'm going to say every woman's a potential diamond. Correct. Diamonds need to be polished. That's right. Right? Some pressure. Right. And there's no such thing as a flawless diamond. Right? We all have what they call inclusions, okay? Scars or marks that can't go away, all right? But I think every woman and every man has the opportunity to polish up and could be better. So, first of all, the importance of salary while looking for a mate, this depends on the woman, all right? That's personal. Now, you got to ask yourself questions like this. Will money determine your submission? Woo! Will money determine your submission? Somebody just requested to be on camera. No, I can't have you over here. Wow. Bishop said, is salary more important than work ethic? Right. Yes. Right. Yes, that's a great question. That's something you got to ask yourself.
Can you depend on his $200 a week?
Yes, absolutely. And let's say this too. Right. I want to add to that. Good work ethic. Yeah, you see what I'm saying? Good work ethic, that's foundational. Right. I'll tell women now, if that joker ain't got no job, run! Yes. Run as your pastor. I'm going to talk about you if you are dating a man who don't have a job, ain't trying to get no job, can't keep a job. You need to run. Run, Forrest, run. Run. That is a foundation. See, because men, as a man, you need a man that's prideful in the area of provision.
Absolutely. Because he's the provider. He's your covering.
Provider, protector. Right. Men are naturally, any man, not male.
That's the difference.
Yes. Not, we're not talking about the gender. Okay. We're talking about man. That's rank.
Yes, that's right.
Man is big on how he provides.
That's right.
How he protects. Watch this. And if he's saved, it should be on how he priests.
Come on.
How does he perform his duties as a priest? I'm prideful and I need to pray more than her.
Oh, they're not ready.
Now he might have to grow to that.
Right.
That's cool. But yeah. All right. So here we go. Whew. If how much money he makes is going to determine your submission, then salary is probably very important to you. Yeah. And what do we mean by that, babe? Where money determines your submission?
Money determines. What do we mean by that?
Yeah. What would you think that means?
Money determines your submission. Well,
like some women,
right? Some women, if you make less than them, especially in this society, many women make more. They're more educated.
Many what women? What kind of women?
High value women?
No.
Black women.
Black women.
Yes, it's got to be specific.
Yeah, black women typically make more than black men. That's what's been happening. And several reasons get me on offline. I ain't dealing with it.
I was gonna say, and so because of that, many times we have the tendency to see a man that makes less than us and kind of, I don't think so, and we automatically exclude him as a potential because he doesn't make what we make, because we're thinking, okay, he has to make the same amount or more, and usually more is the requirement. And and it lowers their value in our eyes, as well as our ability to respect him and submit.
Yes, and it should not.
It shouldn't.
But if it does,
right,
be honest.
Right.
Okay?
Absolutely.
Be honest. That's your truth. And that's a truth that I would say it's okay to have.
Yeah.
But you need to have that truth up front.
Correct.
That's not a truth that you should get to develop. Correct. You don't get married. I know women right now who with a man, and it was fine when they got along great when he was making more money than her. Yeah. But all of a sudden, she get a little increase. She finished school. She finished her nail tech certificate. I'm just making something up. She's not a nail tech, but she went back to DeVry and graduated in class of February, and now all of a sudden, hey, now he ain't nothing.
Right, and it shouldn't be that way.
Now he put you through school.
Right, correct.
Right, you know what I mean?
That's right.
But now it's you can't get along. Oh, I just feel like I need him to step his game up like I stepped my game up.
Right. Be careful. I was gonna interject one thing.
Yeah.
Know that if you are basing salary as a major factor and whether or not there are potential, know that decreases the pool of available men.
Especially black.
Okay? It will decrease the chances that you meet the man that you desire. So be very careful in some of the things that you think are important. And it can still be important, but just realize the reality that comes along with that.
Absolutely. Sister Gatlin just said something very powerful, because we as black women are taught to be independent. Yes, right. Many of you, not all of you, and don't get caught up in that nuanced stuff, because that stuff right there makes things difficult to talk about. If this does not fit you, don't wear it. Don't wear it. If the shoe does not fit you, don't wear it. Many of you will say, but what about this? And that's not all women, and that's not all men. You are absolutely right. Bravo. Call me. I'll give you a cookie for it not being you. All right. We'll order you some ginger snaps. But at the same time, we're talking about the vast majority. Yes. Okay. Absolutely. Wow. One brother said, I got 3 jobs.
Come on now.
See, that's pride and provision. Yes, that's right. Yeah, that's somebody wanting to provide. He don't have 3 jobs for no reason. That's somebody who has pride in saying, I'm a man. That's right. And this is what men do. I'm gonna make it happen. Thank you, Malcolm X, by any means necessary. Yes. How much does it have to do with the level of education versus uneducated? Well, I honestly think women shouldn't look at education all the time. Right. And I'm glad you asked that question, because I think some of the most slept on men are our blue collar brothers. I agree. Who really, see, women, a lot of women, not all, but a lot of women have not done their research. You think a plumber don't make no money. Sis, plumbers make money. Yes. Okay? You think electricians don't make no money. See, electricians make money. Yes. You think truck drivers ain't making some money. Sweetheart, truck drivers can make some money. I told you Sunday that a lot of our blue collar men who have what we say the skills to pay the bills, they have skills with their hands, they are one LLC away from a corporation. They are one LLC away, one business license away. If you old school, that's what they used to call it. Get my business license. Right. You know, they're away from that to get that. So you can encourage that. That's right. But listen, so if you're the type of woman that wants a man or needs a man that makes a lot of money, then here we go. But maybe you're the type of woman that makes a lot of money herself and just want companionship and someone to love her. Yes. Well, then she's not going to be paying as close attention to salary. She just wants somebody who's loyal, trustworthy, and this noble man who loves Jesus. That's right. And she gonna be happy. But if that's not you, after you've answered those questions, and if you have decided, hey, I need a player that makes some money, here we go. First thing you need to do, here's your to-do. You need to figure out the lifestyle you wish to live. Bible says, my people perish for lack of knowledge. Sis, let me help you. Let me help you.
That's right.
Stuff costs money. Know how much it costs.
That's right.
You want a certain lifestyle, sis? Figure out what it costs you to live that. What kind of house you want? In what neighborhood?
Right.
Oh, you want to live over here? Oh, you want to live over there? Oh, okay, cool. Those houses start at $750,000.
Yeah.
Okay, so what is it gonna take to qualify for that?
Correct.
Do you want to work?
Right. How about that?
Yeah, I know you making some bread now,
right.
but do you want to have to keep working to pay significant bills?
Right.
What kind of car do you want? How much does that 7 Series Beamer cost?
Yeah.
See, a lot of times you don't do the research and know what it is you want cost.
Right.
So you don't know how high to how high to rank his salary.
Right.
Maybe it needs to be very important. If you want to put all your kids through private school,
right.
Sweetie, that costs.
Yeah.
Okay. Second thing, after you determine the lifestyle you wish to live, determine the cost of that lifestyle. Again, how much does that stuff cost? How much does it cost to live in that neighborhood? Oh, you want a vacation in Hawaii all the time? Look up that trip. How much that costs?
Right.
All right. Last, calculate how much money he will need to make to provide his portion of that lifestyle. It's simple to me.
Yeah.
It's simple.
Correct.
If you want him to pay 100% of that, okay, he needs to make 100% of that. Right. And let's be realistic. In Raleigh, Durham, where we live, to support a family of 4, middle class, buy yourself, put kids through private school. If that's what you want, I'm guessing $250. Right. If she don't want to work, if you don't want to work.
I was going to say, if you're not adding to that salary to your household,
and I'm saying before taxes,
right.
Because after taxes that goes down.
Correct.
But yeah, before taxes, right. Gross income probably $250.
Yeah, absolutely.
If that's what you want.
Right.
Now then you ask yourself the last question: do I qualify for what men want who make that much money? Because unfortunately, I know it's sad. And this is where me and a lot of relationship gurus differ. I know it's sad, sis. But unfortunately, that man has a lot of options. He has a lot of options. He has a lot of options because everybody wants a king. Right. Yeah. Everybody, we go back to that high value. He's seen as useful in ways that, well, people see it as useful.
Yes.
He is really not. But a whole nother conversation. All right. We'll get off that. Hope that answers your question. Number 3, third question we got. Please name the top important qualities of a man or woman that I should be looking for. Okay. All right. Babe, you take the first one.
You ready?
What's the first thing they need to be looking for?
First one is attraction. Do you like what you see?
No, girl, you need to check if they got a prayer life.
No.
Do he fast? No. Does he lay in sackcloth and ashes? Forget how he looked.
No, that's God. No.
We're
talking about human beings?
No, we need to know. He need to know Jesus.
Attraction.
No, he can look like, I don't know, he can look terrible.
No. Attraction.
No. Y'all better quit sleeping on
top qualities.
No.
We're talking facts and figures.
Yes, I'm kidding. Yes.
Looks matter.
Yes, looks matter. Can you look at them?
Right.
You got to be able to look at them.
Yes.
You can't look at them. Man, that's bad. I tell my wife all the time, look, when she make me mad, she fine. So that get her out of a whole lot of trouble. I tell her all the time, girl, you better be glad you fine. Because if you won't fine, you be out of here. You got to go. All right. All right. So here we go. Attraction. Number 2. Go ahead, baby.
Number 2 is he or she saved? Does he or she know God? Are they committed to a church? Do they have similar or same theological positions?
Yeah.
Right.
That's good. Does he know God? That's easy. Everybody claim they know God. Now we get different. Okay.
Right.
Well, first, is he saved?
Right.
Some of y'all think once saved, always saved. Different Bible study. Maybe that could be a question for somebody. Right. Why we don't believe in that? Right. No, you're not once saved, always saved. Does he know God? Right. Okay. Then is he committed to a local church? None of that. I live in Durham, but I go to church in Seattle type stuff. No. Are you tied to a church here? All right. And do y'all have similar or same theological positions? I won't get too deep into this, but a quick example of that is, say I get with her and you want to be, you know, the Lord has called you to preach and teach. Right. But if I didn't believe in women preachers, that'd be a problem. That's gonna be a problem. Yeah. So yeah, I'm saved. Right. Yeah, I love the Lord. Right. Yeah, I'm this and yeah, I'm that. And you saved and you love the Lord and you fine and you think I'm fine and yep, we fit all the bills. Right. But then we get to this theological position of, well, I'm called to be a prophetess and I'm called to do this and I'm called to, and if I was of the belief of, well, you can't preach because you're a woman, right, we probably shouldn't be together. Because she's gonna be, because watch this, she's gonna be out of order with God by doing something like that if her husband don't agree with it. Anyway, all right. So, 3, does he want marriage? Does he want marriage? Do they want marriage? Yeah, because we live in a day and time where people say stuff like, I don't like titles. Right. Okay, they say, I don't like labels. You got a lot of people saying, let's just be together. Right. We're lifelong partners. Well, if you're looking for traditional marriage and that man or that woman doesn't want that, yeah, they don't believe in that. Right. Yes. Yeah, absolutely. Somebody said his primary ministry should be bedside. So Lord Jesus. Should not be. Oh, should not be. Yeah. Oh, okay. Oh, good. Okay, should not be bedside service. Okay, amen. So, yeah, I think I honestly think that you got to make sure that person wants marriage. Absolutely. Because we as Christians, we believe in dating with a purpose. Absolutely. Ain't no point in you running around here getting your body count all high, sleeping with everybody. And now all of a sudden, after you done had 98,000 different partners, now you want a good, wholesome man or a good, wholesome woman. And now we got to deal with all them soul ties you done went out here and get. Come on, man. No, doesn't make any sense. All right. Number 4, does he want what you want or close enough? Does she want what you want or close enough? What do we mean by that? Quality of life. Do you want kids? Right. Do I want kids? Okay. Where are we gonna live? I want to live in the country. You talking about moving to New York City? Right. I don't know if that's gonna work because one of us are gonna have to give up something that may be too important to you. Now we all give up something, but you got to figure out what's not important enough for you to be able to get to the point where you can be lenient on it, or you can give some with it. You can be cooperative. Okay. 5.
This is good.
You say it then, because I'm scared. She said it, not me.
Don't be scared. Do they have issues or patterns that you can't deal with? These may be called non-negotiables. Are they constantly unemployed? Do they have, a baby mama, baby daddy that you'd have to deal with forever? Yeah,
that cause a lot of drama.
That cause drama.
Sometimes it's not the people. Correct. It's what they come with. Correct. What? Yeah. That's a quotable right there. That's a quotable. Sometimes it's not the people. It's not the person.
It's the package.
Teddy, a nice guy. Yeah. But look what he come with. He come with Starquisha, and she always coming over and threatening putting sugar in his gas tank. Yeah. All types of stuff. Yeah.
difficult family, difficult friends. Who's attached to that person? It matters.
It matters.
Yeah. Do they have health issues? That's something we don't talk about.
Yeah.
Is the person always sickly or prone to being sick?
And are you okay with that?
Right.
Because you may end up a caregiver.
Yeah, for better, for worse.
And so, right.
Sickness or health.
Exactly. If she gets sick, I gotta take care of her.
That's right.
If I get sick, she's supposed to take care of me.
Correct.
Right. You're gonna be cool with that.
Right.
Okay? Especially when you see the pattern of it. Now, we're both relatively healthy. So, if something happened, it would be unexpected.
Absolutely.
But sometimes you get with people and you know they have this, they have a chronic illness.
Right.
Or they have this history.
Right.
Are you okay with that?
Right, correct.
Okay. Now, do they have mental health issues?
Right. You have to consider all of it. Now, I have a question for you.
Uh-oh.
Does this fall into the same arena as being equally yoked? Because I know someone asked the question, how do you find someone that you're equally yoked with? Would these important qualities be something that they should consider when being equally yoked?
Equally yoked has more. It can deal with this. Equally yoked is more so of a spiritual, theological thing.
So that would be kind of
Bishop just put it up there for us. He says unequally yoked together. 2 Corinthians 6 and 14. Thank you, Bishop. That's why you're the bishop.
That's right.
Thou shalt not plow with an ox and a donkey together. Y'all ain't gonna say I was cussing on here.
That's Bible. Bishop posted that.
Yeah, I know Bishop posted it, but Bishop can say stuff the pastor can't say. See, I understand rank. See, that's high value. I'm rolling. I'm Henry.
Amen.
All right, so I'm trying to figure out.
Right. We're going in the right direction.
Yeah, when it comes to it's more so I don't want to be dragging you.
Right.
See, because an ox is strong, okay, and a donkey is not as strong as an ox, okay, and so I don't need to be dragging you. The climb, I often say this, there are certain people in your life that you cannot take with you on your journey because they don't possess the strength, tenacity, or capacity to travel with you. Climbing Mount Everest is hard enough. I need somebody who's going to help me navigate, who's going to help me carry this tent, who's going to help me carry this water, who's going to help me carry these supplies. I don't need somebody with me that I got to drag along with all the equipment we going to need to survive. Do you know me having you with me means I'm going to need twice the amount of tent, twice the amount of water, twice the amount of supplies, twice the amount of food. I come out, and then I got to drag you. I'd come out better leaving you behind, getting to the top of the mountain, and then sending a helicopter for you later. Amen. Okay, so that's what that means. Okay, let's see. And the last thing we had was, does he or she have, well, no, I'm sorry. Does he have enough for you to submit to him? Notice we left that open.
Yeah.
Does he have enough blank for you to submit to him? Does he have enough money for you to submit? Does he have enough integrity for you to submit? Does he have enough influence, enough status? Is he smart enough? Is he intellectual enough? Is he educated enough? Some of you who feel like he got to have a PhD or she got to have a PhD to qualify. Do they come from the right pedigree? Do they have enough? Is their family prestigious enough for you to submit to? Yeah, whatever your thing is or things are, does he have enough of that for you to follow him? If he don't marry him. Okay? Right? So that's what we believe you should rank. Again, that's our opinion. 4, I'm trying to, oh Lord.
The next question says,
I'm trying to maintain my celibacy. How do I do that in today's dating market?
That's real.
That's real.
Yeah.
Wow. I think you better qualified to answer that question.
You're qualified too.
I'm qualified in knowledge. All right. So here we go. Only date men or women, because if you're a man needing to, men, we should be celibate as well. If we're not married, it's God's way. I'm telling you God's way. Okay, this ain't John's way. It's God's way. Which by default makes it my way, man of God. I'm going by what he say. Okay. Only date people of the opposite sex, okay, with your same religious values. That's a biggie.
It is.
If you're trying to maintain celibacy, because let me tell y'all something. I'm learning this. Celibacy is a matter of religion and drive.
Yes, that's true. Yeah.
Because a lot of people can be celibate under the guise or disguise of religion when really they don't have a sex drive. I'm just going to say it.
Yeah, that's all right. Yeah, that's real. Right.
Okay? If y'all been dating 15 years and ain't touched each other, and he ain't never tried and she ain't never tried, and or he ain't never tried, but you done tried a bunch of times and they easily rejected you, or vice versa, you might need to run.
Be careful. Right.
Yeah, you might need to go because they too strong. This is why, a lot of Christians get married quick. You tell when folk doing it right. A lot of times when folk doing it right, they get married.
Right. So that's actually the second bullet. So the first one is only date people with your same religious views.
Right. Same religious views.
And then
because religion is what's going to typically keep us from, look, man, I want you, baby. You hot. You fine now. You was fine when we was dating. Religion was the only thing.
Right.
Okay. The only thing. Okay. That was it. Okay. That was it. If it had not been for the Lord on that side, I know where I would have been. Okay. Don't take long to get married. If you 25 years old or older, man, it shouldn't take you. Look, if you trying to be celibate, cut the time off that you need to be celibate.
Correct. Right. Because we're dating with a purpose. Right? When we're talking single people, you're dating with a purpose. So you're already going into this relationship,
asking the hard questions.
This courtship.
Yes.
Asking the questions, having meaningful interaction. You're not just Netflix and chilling. You're actually having good conversation, going through some highs and lows.
Where you see yourself in 5 years.
Right.
What kind of family you want.
Absolutely.
How would we raise our kids?
Where's your mom? Where's your dad?
Yeah.
Do you have any children? What's your relationship like with their parent, with their,
Yeah, absolutely.
All that.
Absolutely.
All that. So you're doing the hard work up front.
Yes.
And so it shouldn't take long. Like you should know within, I would say several months or so that, okay, I should go a little further in this. We can start courting. We can start making things a little more official because this is safe to move forward. And then after that, you should really be, still having hard, challenging conversations, seeking wise counsel.
Yep.
And then you should pretty much know from there that, okay, I want to spend the rest of my life with this person.
Amen.
Let's start doing some planning. So now I'm not saying it's really up to the individual, but if you're dating, and it's 3 years and you're not like both in college and you've got these extenuating circumstances and you're trying to live right, you're trying to be celibate, you're really, it's risky.
Yeah.
You're going to be able to maintain your celibacy. And if you're attracted to each other, remember one of those important qualities of having, of a relationship.
Of being in a relationship. We said number one was an attraction.
Yeah, so if you're attracted to each other, it's going to, he's smelling all good, and you're like, ooh, your mind is going to go there, and your body will follow. So having a long courtship and long engagement, asking for trouble, possibly. So
absolutely.
And so then the last one is be intentional.
Wow. Be intentional. Again, that goes back to asking those hard questions. Being straight up. Hey, listen, look, girl, I like you. I'm trying to get trying to get married. Hey, brother, you're looking good. You're smelling good. I'm liking you. I'm letting you know now. I am dating with a purpose. I'm not saying let's get married tomorrow. Right. However, the instant I see something that is unhusband-like, right, or unwife-like, that's one of my non-negotiables. That's right. I'm out. And one of those things is this taking too long. Mm-hmm.
Oh, stallers. Oh my gosh. Be careful of the stallers.
I don't know.
Wasting your valuable time.
And women, my God, women, you guys, listen. As a man, I'm probably gonna get attacked by players everywhere. But I'll shoot to kill. But I'm probably gonna get attacked by players everywhere. It's fine. But listen, women, I mean this. Yeah. Daughters in the Lord, sisters in the church, whatever. Let me tell you, don't let no man waste your time. Your time is precious. Yes. Okay? Your time is precious. And don't waste your own time. Okay? You are your finest between 18 and 25. Okay? I have never seen a 70-year-old woman look at herself in the mirror and then look back at her high school graduation picture and say, look at me now. No. They say, I was a fox back then. Oh my God. I was a fox. Everybody was up. I walk down the hall and they be like, that's a 20, right? That's a 20 piece. That's exact. You have never heard anybody 75 years old get in front of themselves. My mother-in-law is in her 70s, and she is as beautiful as you can get at 70. I mean, still got a shape, everything. She hot. I keep telling my wife I'm gonna leave her for a mama, but at the same time, look, she always says, she'll say, look, I look good now. But you should have seen me back then. You should have seen me back. And I look at those pictures of her back then and I say, whoa, ma'am. Okay. Yes, I see what old Hot Lips was chasing. Okay. I see what my father-in-law was chasing. So, with that being said, ladies, you're at your finest, you're at your most feminine, you're at your most cooperative in your youth. Get the man you want then, so you don't end up in a position where you have to start saying your checklist got to get real small to where you're down to pulse and teeth. Okay, just pulse and teeth. All right. So be intentional. All right, number 5, and we wrapping this up. Give us 15 minutes. If y'all liking this, everybody hit the heart button or something. If you're on Facebook, if you're liking this, if this is good, please let us know. If it's good, can we get some? All right, there you go.
And
give us some. If you
haven't shared, please share this.
Yes, please share. Thank you so much for your hearts. We appreciate it. All right, here we go. So what does being what does being submitted to a husband look like?
We always get the submission question.
We always get
always
submit. Okay. If she don't submit, you must acquit. Johnny Cochran. All right. So what does being submitted to a husband look like? Okay. I'll start, and then I'm gonna let you take this one pretty much. I'll give just my 2 things. 2 things real quick. From a man's perspective, here's what it looks like. Number 1, I'm your leader. I'm your leader. Okay? Big Sean wants us to submit to him. He ain't crying. Right. All right. So number 1, I am your leader. That's what submission looks like. Submission means that my wife willfully, not by force, not by coercion, but willfully comes up under. Woo!
Yeah.
Willfully. She's not forced. It doesn't mean she's a second-class citizen by any means, but it does mean she's covered by me. Yeah. If the light's off over here, it's my fault. If we not eating over here, it's my fault. If she ain't got gas in her car and I ain't give her the money and she ain't go blow it on something, it's my fault. She's covered. She gets to sit when there's a big problem that hits the fan in our house or in our finances or in our family. She literally gets to sit back, rub my back and say, baby, I know you're going to figure this out. You're going to figure it out, baby. I'm right here with you. I'm right here with you. Baby, I'm being here.
Some water?
Yeah, you need some water? I'm back here. Baby, you look stressed. Yeah. That's what she gets to do, man. And it's a wonderful thing because in my opinion, somebody type his opinion. I don't believe women were built to carry that stress. Not that you can't carry the stress. You weren't built to do that. I gave one young lady the example of a butter knife and a screwdriver. Okay, a butter knife can unscrew a screw, a flathead screw. Technically, you could use a butter knife to do that. You could make it work. However, just because the butter knife can do it doesn't mean it was created to do it. Yeah, it wasn't created. And what happens is when the butter knife is repeatedly used in a stressful condition that it was not made to be used in, what typically happens is the butter knife gets bent out of shape, it gets scarred, it gets tarnished, it gets beat up, and then when it's time to be a butter knife, it can't function what it was supposed to do because it's been doing what it's not supposed to do the whole time. So now that you've been running the house forever, now that you've been raising 20 kids on your own, now that you've been paying bills by yourself forever, now you get Henry and it's time to submit and you can't.
And that's the issue.
That's the issue.
That is what happens and what's happening more and more today, because a lot of women and men are getting married at an older age, and so you've been single for a very long time
and you become masculine.
You've been there you go.
You're masculine.
As women, you've been doing it on your own for a long time. You've been getting your car maintenance. You might be maintaining it yourself by now.
Yeah, some women change your oil.
Correct.
Right, and nothing wrong with that.
Bills. You've been vacationing on your own with the girl. You've been doing everything on your own and doing it very well.
Absolutely.
For a very long time. But then when it's time to meet your Mr. Right and you get married, it can be very challenging to hand over the reins for really what wasn't designed for you to carry.
Wait. Mm-hmm. Here it is. Mm-hmm. This is so good. Okay. This is so rich. Hear this. I admire my father, but we run our house differently.
Gotcha. Yeah.
Okay.
Good.
Now, when I was 19 and hadn't been out on my own but for so long, it would be a little easier. For if I had to move back home, it would be a little easier for me to go back under submission to another king.
Come on.
However, now that I've been ruling and reigning for 20 years, it would be very difficult to go back. And so what's happened is a lot of women, unfortunately, through circumstance, life, caveats, or poor decisions, find yourself and stay there. But whatever it is, you have had to be a king for so long. And now it's time for you to be a queen. And now, because you got a king's mindset, one thing about kings, everybody runs a kingdom, differently.
Yes.
And so now a lot of you think you have bad men, or he's irresponsible, or he's not smart enough, and he's not this enough, he's not that enough. No, that's not the case. The case is you've gotten masculine. You've been a king so long. Now and you're in another king because you had to be. I'm with you, sis. I'm with you. I'm telling you why. I ain't telling you that you're dead wrong. No. I'm telling you it's bad for marriage. But I understand why you're there. See, and while you're there, you got to fix it. Now that we know why, we got to fix it. But because you've been a king so long, you've been forced to be a king, my sister. Unfortunately, now that you have a king, you have a problem with how he's running the kingdom.
Right. And you have to understand that he may run the kingdom differently. So a submitted wife, this is what it looks like. A submitted wife will allow the king to rule the way he sees fit. It's like God, where we know he's sovereign. Like we know he can do everything, anything.
Perfect will versus permissive.
Absolutely. Thank you, Bishop. You taught on that wonderfully. We know he can do anything and he has the power to do it. And when we pray, we hope, we do our best to lay it all out and hope that he does it. But we understand he's sovereign, so he may not answer that prayer. And if he does, it may not look the way we want it to look.
He might go get the car fixed.
Right.
You would get the brakes done as soon as
I heard
you heard what?
Right.
And it only did it sometimes. Right. You booking the appointment. Yes. Okay. He might wait till it's
right. That's
right. Okay. But could you still stop?
Right. No, we'll wait.
Could you still stop? We will wait. Okay. But could you still stop? Was it unsafe?
Right.
No, it wasn't unsafe. It was just you had a problem with, I pull up to a light and then people looking at me. Are you stopping?
Correct.
Okay, correct. I'm going to get to it next Saturday.
So a submitted wife, well, you know what? She needs to learn how to be okay with that. And that's where the conflict of submission comes in. Ooh. We don't like the way they did it. We don't like the way they waited. They don't. And so that's when, as a woman, you have to learn your power.
And sometimes you got to let it fail.
Learn your power.
Ladies, let it fail sometimes. Sometimes kings have to learn when to relinquish power. In certain areas.
Yes. Correct.
You know, sometimes you have to let it fail. If he's always talking about, I got this, I'm going to pay the light bill, and you keep coming to the rescue, but when you come to the rescue, you want to brag about it and fuss about it and go off about it, and then y'all end up not talking for 5 days. Well, then the best thing to do is, okay, let me show this joker why I'm on him about this. Yeah. And so what you do is you let the lights get cut off. Now you're going to be hot, and it's going to be dark. Yeah. Okay, but what you do then is you politely do what my wife probably would do. You go light some candles, and when he come home and he hit the light switch, and he want to know, Big Sean said amen. He want to know why in the world is my lights not working. You politely say to him, well, sweetheart, I don't know what happened. I know you said you was gonna take care of it, and so honestly, baby, you the king here. So when you say you gonna take care of it, I get quiet.
And can I add to that? Let me see if I can frame it properly.
Say it wrong. I'm the one got to be nice.
The way that you say it, the intention that's behind you saying it. You know you're right. He knows you're right. But there's a level of humility that you must have, because we're not supposed to, we shouldn't want to take his crown off and snatch it.
Say that again.
We shouldn't want to we shouldn't want to take his crown off of his head. We need him. He's the leader. And so you have to be extremely wise. This is what submission looks like. It's being wise in how you speak. It's being wise in your tone. It's being wise in understanding that he loves you. He wants to cover you. He desires to provide. And so in order to get, again, the best out of him, you got to do it sweetly. You have to do it in a wise manner. You have to package it just right. He knows you're right.
And fellas, if she can't do that, don't marry her.
I was going to say that.
Don't do it. I'm sorry.
Take it, and let me get back to when you've been single for a long time and being independent for a long time. When you're single and independent for a long period of time, you've gone through some things, and it has the tendency to make a woman very hard
and masculine,
very unapproachable, and yes, very masculine. And that does not work in a godly biblical marriage. And I've seen it tear marriages apart. It tears a man's pride. It tears up his ego. It tears down the biblical and godly order of things. We must be able to reflect in every moment, every interaction. I'm always calculating. And, at first it was a little challenging because I was single, doing everything on my own. Yes. And then I really had to learn and practice how to shift and take off my king crown and put on the queen crown and allow him to play his position. But it wasn't without a lot of challenges, some talks, some heated fellowships, confusion sometimes. But after a while, I had to just trust him. And my other weapon was prayer. I needed to go to his boss. I hired him as my boss. Mm. When the man gets down on one knee and proposes and say, "Will you take my last name? Will you marry me?" You're saying, "Yes, you are now my boss. You're my leader. You're my coverer. You're everything." So if you and your boss aren't seeing eye to eye and you feel like your boss should be doing something different, and you've made your suggestions, recommendations, right? You're framing it in a way that it will be effective and well received. Absolutely. If that still doesn't work, you don't get an attitude. Amen. You don't get manly and start bucking up against him and doing it on your own. You need to go to his boss.
Yeah, and can I stop there? Yeah. Because sometimes doing something that you asked him to do is belittling.
Yeah. Yes.
It's belittling. Yeah. I know it oftentimes happens.
Yeah, it can.
Where people are in many situations and circumstances always fighting because we ask our spouses to do stuff, and because they don't do it the way we want them to do it or when they want to do it.
It's very frustrating.
It's frustrating. Also, you also need to understand to recognize your spouse's capacity. Okay. Yes. A lot of y'all are trying to pour, and this is no throw off because even I have a capacity. Yeah. She has a capacity. Right. Okay, so I'm gonna use me. If I'm a 5 gallon capacity, okay. She's crazy to keep trying to pour 20 gallons in me. Yeah. Why are you expecting 20 gallons out of me? Yeah. You're expecting 20 gallons out of me, and I'm a 5 gallon person. You know I was 5 gallons. In the area of emotions, you knew I was 5 gallons. You knew I'm not emotional. If that was the case, he's not or I'm not emotionally intelligent. Right. I'm the average
can't process
guy.
Emotions well.
I got 2 emotions.
Can't communicate them properly.
Happy
and
angry. Right. That's it. I got 2 emotions. If he got 2 emotions and you know he's 5 gallons in that area, why are you expecting him? Right. You or here's a big one. You didn't marry an orator. In other words, you didn't marry somebody who speaks well. You didn't marry someone who knew what to say, was a spokesman, always knew the right things to say. Correct. Okay, he wasn't slick mouth. He wasn't like that. He's not gonna give the toast that everybody remembers at the wedding reception. Right. That's not him. Well, why are you expecting him to always say the right thing?
Right. You have to be realistic.
You knew the man couldn't talk when you got with him.
Yeah, absolutely. So I think in that perspective, what about when a woman still, even though she's saying it right, she's watching her tone, she's going to his boss, and that's not working, and she's not able to submit. Do you have any offer any suggestion maybe for the man?
Yeah,
perhaps?
men, you are a complete. You are being a complete. I don't want to say. I'll say it like this. You're being incomplete. Yes, God. You're being incomplete if you don't take heed to some of the things that your wife is saying. I honestly believe that many of the things that come out of your wife's mouth are not only for the well-being of her, but it is for the well-being of you, which is also for the well-being of us. Okay? And so you are living, but many men that I know personally are living beneath their potential because they let their egos get in the way. Now, especially if she's saying it right.
Right.
Okay? She's watching her tone. She's coming in a submissive manner. Okay? Now, and women, don't act like you don't know how to submissively talk to your husband. You know how to do it. Act like you talking to your daddy. Right. Yeah, because my mother and father raised me like this. Son, you can say anything to us. That's right. But you need to watch how you say it. That's right. That's right. I often use this as an example. It's a difference between telling somebody, hey, your breath a little sharp, versus your breath smell like trash truck juice. Okay? Now, both of them are saying essentially the same thing. Right. You need something, okay? You need some help fast. Yeah. But sharp versus trash truck juice. One sounds like I'm trying to help you. The other one sounds like I'm trying to hurt you. Okay? So men, listen to your wife. The Bible says, hearken to the voice of your wife. When she's telling you something for the good of you, the good of the family, give it some consideration. Yes. You're living beneath your privilege if you don't. Remember, now men, she signed up for you to be her boss, but you also hired this employee and gave them tenure. Right. Okay. So you need to be picky. Exactly. Men have control over relationships and marriage. You had to ask her to be your girlfriend, and you had to ask her to be your wife. You asked. That's good. All right. Now, last question? Last question, because we can't even get to the rest of them. I know. All right, here we go. Number 6, and that's it. We might have to really condense it. We'll really condense it. It's almost 8:30. I talk about this stuff all night. Thank you guys for hanging in there with us. We appreciate it. I think they appreciate it. I guess so. I hope they're getting it. Elder Hall just said something, said, stay steadfast, unmovable, always abounding in the work of the Lord, knowing that your labor is not in vain, and you shall reap if you faint not. He also said, love your wife. Christ loved the church, even when they trying to kill you. Yes, hey, Elder, you picked her. That's what I say. You picked her. If he picked her, that's it. But women, don't be weapon. Wow, women, don't allow Satan to weaponize you against your husband. It can happen. Yes. All right. Because you open the door for. Never mind. All right. Number 6, last question that we'll get to. I don't understand why Samuels or Kevin Samuels had to rape women. I think that it is very disrespectful and demeaning to tell a woman that they wouldn't be desired by a high-value man, or that she must compromise because of how old she is or how she looks. Now this I will say. When Mr. Kevin Samuels, I would watch some of the videos with my husband. I was a curious intellect. I'll say that. because I agreed with a lot of what he said.
Right.
I never agreed with the tone. My wife is my witness.
Right.
I never agreed with the tone. Dr. Murchison, man, I got to get you back to the church. You sang the walls down. Good to see you, man. We'll get in touch with you. But I'm not here to defend Mr. Samuels. I want to start off that. I personally wish that he was more tactful. Always did. But I did agree with much of his content. I'm not going to sit here and lie about it. Not all, but much.
And can I say real quick, because I know you have more to say, as a woman, and I don't think I've ever said this publicly.
I ain't even Catholic.
I know. We've had our conversations behind closed doors about Mr. Samuels for many months,
before the world knew him.
Last year or so. Yeah. And so I would watch some of his content with my husband. And so he definitely rubbed me the wrong way because of his approach, his tone, his presentation. Even some of the things that he would say when it came to how women should how they should date high value men. I didn't always agree with that. However,
especially a lot of it was a non-Christian perspective,
right?
Too.
Exactly,
and he wasn't a preacher, so
right. So I left room for it, but I felt like, of course, being a Christian, it was leading people to hell.
Absolutely.
So I couldn't agree with some of the stuff he said, but I will say that I did agree high level with what he desired as far as the outcome.
Yes.
The outcome. The outcome.
Very pro-family.
Right. The outcome.
Pro-marriage.
His purpose was he wanted to reestablish the Black family unit, which has been broken down for generations.
Amen.
He wanted to ensure that women understood their worth and men understood their worth, and to put their best foot forward with whatever resources they did have, to put their best into that. Right. So from hygiene to health,
yes.
Right? Mental health and physical health.
Yeah.
So financial health.
Very.
Raising your children with a spouse, you know what I mean? So he had some excellent values that I did 100% agree with.
And he told a lot of truth.
Right.
It was not well packaged.
Right. You had to dig through some of the presentation.
Yeah,
right?
Too much digging.
I had to dig, okay?
Okay.
But let's talk about this question is really talking about why they're trying to dig and trying to figure out why Mr. Kevin Samuels had to rate women.
All right, so first of all, I want to make sure I'm distancing myself too from this situation with Mr. Samuels, because first of all, I'm a pastor, not a politician, and so there are certain things that I have to address with a biblical view. I'm gonna be raw, I'm gonna be real, definitely, but at the same time, hey man, I'm a pastor. But as a modern pastor, I do think it's important that I address anything that's being discussed in what I have coined as the 5 B's. Okay. If it's being discussed in the 5 B's, I gotta talk about it. And those 5 B's are: if it's being discussed on blogs, at barbecues, barbershops, beauty salons, and break rooms, it's important to society, and more than likely, my congregants, people who watch, they have been exposed to it or are gonna be exposed to it. And I think sometimes as pastors, we have to make sure that not only are you getting a worldview, but you are also getting a biblical worldview, so you have something to combat the world with. And so that's what we need to do. All right, so why would he do this? Well, first of all, women called into him.
To his show.
They called into his show. It was his show. Right. They knew what they were getting. But he would ask them, he would collect information. He would say, what's your age? What's your weight? What's your dress size? How many children you have? Et cetera, et cetera. And then he would ask them to rate themselves
1 to 10.
On a 1 to 10 scale. 10 being dime piece, beautiful, and 1 being, oh my God, opposite. So after he would do that, the reason why he would do that is he would want to make sure that women were in tune. Also, he would do this with men too in the beginning, but a version of it.
Right.
But he wanted to make sure that you were in tune to your value in the dating marketplace.
Right.
Okay. What's your value in the dating marketplace? I know your mama told you was all that in a bag of chips. I know your girlfriend told you was all that because women, truthfully, y'all are wonderful. Y'all have a tight knit community, man. I wish men could get like y'all in the sense of y'all encourage each other.
I know.
Man, y'all encourage each other.
Sometimes to a fault, though.
Yes, you're getting where I'm going. Lot,
that's
but
our nurturing spirit.
That nurturing spirit, y'all do the same thing to a lot of your men, child. Y'all nurture the straight man out of him. Y'all nurture the masculinity out of me. That's why he can't take trash out, can't keep a job, can't do nothing that a man would do because you nurtured it all out of him. You loved it all out of him. But here it is. Women have a history of doing that, and women do stuff like they tell their girlfriend that she the most friendly person in the world, and you know Starnisha got an attitude problem, and don't nobody like Starnisha but you. Yes, but you done told her, girl, you the nicest person in the world. Yeah. People just don't know. If they only knew. No, y'all call y'all friends that collect welfare and don't do nothing, just lazy. Y'all call them divas and boss chicks. She ain't the boss of nothing. Just ain't got no. She ain't the boss of nothing, but now she thinking she a boss chick, and you got bad attitude thinking that she's the nicest person in the world, and that's like men going to our fellow brothers who may be a custodian or something, and we telling him he should expect to make 250, 300K a year by being a custodian. That's setting him up for failure.
Right.
Okay, and so because of this, women would come onto the show and they would feel that they were something they're not.
Gotcha. Right.
And so once you know where you rank in looks and in package, you then know what you can demand. Okay, it's everybody understands that in every aspect of life, but dating, and that baffles me, to be honest, because we understand it with credit, right? If you're applying for a house and you make $3 an hour, and you got a 442 credit score, you don't expect to be approved for $750,000.
Great example.
But because you look at the raw facts. Now, you don't sit there and get circumstantial. Well, the only reason why I got a 442 credit score is because this happened and that happened. This happened. No, what do? You get in contact with a credit repair agency, or you start trying to repair your credit yourself. You go out, you try to build your credit, you try to build your salary, you try to save some, you try to fix it so you can what? Qualify for what you want. But in dating, we feel for whatever reason that you should just be able to command or homegrown K or manifest or pray down what it is you think you deserve. And that's not realistic.
So his rating exercise, he would make them rate themselves based on whatever logistics to see where they think they are, and then he would say
validate it or correct it,
or and start asking more questions.
Yeah, because men are realistic.
They're being.
Man, listen, men are visual, and then when you're saying you want to go after somebody who makes a whole bunch of money, because all these women wanted those men. Again, I don't know why. Okay, because you're signing up for a bunch of problems. And I'm arguably one of those men, so I'm not saying that from a hater perspective, right? You know what I'm saying? So I'm not saying it from
the pressure,
but I know the pressure, and I know the stuff you deal with from me because of it.
Yeah.
Okay, so the issue is a lot of women wanted that, and it's like, but do you qualify?
Gotcha.
do you qualify for it? And it's
Right.
not just all about your looks, because it would be women on
gonna
there
say.
that were 9s and 10s, and he would agree, say, yeah, okay, yeah, I'll give you an 8. You an adjustable 8. You this, that, and the third. Yeah, you fine. You are very pretty, but you got a bad attitude. And man who is used to making decisions and used to being a trailblazer and a shaker and a mover, and who can get anyone you want, he wants someone who's going to be cooperative and submissive.
Right. Gotcha. So, and the reason why, just asking for background, and for those that aren't aware, the reason why he could talk to what high value men wanted or desired.
Oh, because he was an image consultant.
Right. So
he was a professional image consultant who helped Henrys get to high value.
Right.
Right. And had a network of high value men, had a Rolodex full of high value men. And so at the end of the day, his clients and his friends would always be discussing with him what they want in a woman. And he noticed that men from all across the country want the top things that they wanted. Yeah, they wanted you to be fine, but after you was fine, okay, pretty is easy, especially with all the makeup and weave and all this stuff out here now. They got butt pads and everything. I mean, you can look good all you want to. It's almost no excuse now to not be beautiful. But after you get beauty, okay, I want femininity. Right. Ooh. Right. I want a lady. Right. Cooperative, submissive. Right. A helpmeet. Somebody willing to get on my program. Right. Yeah. Not overselling partnership to where partnership is we equal. Right. No. We're equal. Watch this. We're equal, but we're not the same.
Right. I remember him saying, like, a high value man they don't need your money.
Yeah.
The things that as women we think makes us very valuable.
Y'all been lied to.
That was the point, right? The things we as women, especially Black women, because that was primarily his audience, and men, of course, Black men. We hold education extremely high. We have 2 masters and a PhD. Right. We have our own house. We have our own money. And what I learned on his show is that that's wonderful, right? Excellent. Especially when you're single. Like, what else are you going to do? Get educated. Make yourself.
But that's because y'all have been taught to think like a man.
I was gonna say, and because I was that chick too. I'm not doing anything. Let me go ahead and get another master's. Let me go ahead and make some more money. Let me climb the corporate ladder. But then what I learned from listening to his show was something I didn't know. High value men don't care that you have 2 degrees. They don't care that you had a house. They have all of that. They don't need your money. They don't. How are your degrees going to help raise the children? What he needs, help me, right? Help me his needs, the needs for the house, the needs for the future. Your degrees aren't going to help that. Your $80,000 is not going to help that. I mean, that's cool. It's nice, but he doesn't need your money.
Keeps you out of my pockets. Right. That's what it. Right. That's how he looks at it.
Like your strong nature wanting to climb the corporate ladder, so you're kind of aggressive and you're go-getter. That's wonderful. But how for a high value man doesn't need that? He needs you to be aggressive about paying the bills on time and managing his calendar and making sure
healthy. Did you cook?
Right. Are the kids well taken care of?
Have you availed yourself to him?
Right. Are you following up on things that helps his business maybe? Or do you know? So I did learn that from him, that the things that we held valuable a high value man does not. And so the women would come on the show and be like, well, I have a PhD and I make $150,000 a year, and they kind of come across like, yeah, I'm the stuff. And he's like, well, that's nice, but that doesn't matter because how many children do you have? Well, why do you think a high value man is going to want to take care of you, your children, and and it just gave you it gave me things to think about.
Gave us stuff to think about, like Black men are the only men expected to raise someone else's children. Right. You know what I mean? It would be a lot of things that would come up that I think the church needed to. I think the church needs to address it from a spiritual and biblical point of view. But I think the overall arching theme of it is this: Unfortunately, black women, because your mama had to be hard, especially this generation, and your grandma had to be hard and had to be independent.
Yeah.
You were raised independent, and you were almost raised to think like a man. Because see, men are taught. My father taught me, hey son, the more you achieve, the more you can command. The more that you achieve, the more that you can command. Biggie Smalls told y'all, black and ugly as ever. However, I stay Gucci down to the socks. So in other words, I ain't got to look like nothing.
Yeah.
But as long as I achieve something and as long as I have stuff, what I want, I can come to me. And so a lot of women, not all, but a lot of women went out here and they got a whole lot of stuff.
Yeah.
They achieved a lot. And now they want somebody with more. And they don't realize you literally outrank the market. Because if you want someone with more and you already making 150,000, well, okay, now only 5% of black men qualify.
Wow. Right.
All right, and now is that 5% gonna want you? Because while getting your undergrad, your master's, and your PhD, you gain 55 pounds, and your shape ain't the same.
I was gonna say that, right? Because as much as we like to say, well, I'm a good person, I know how to handle my business. There are things that a lot of men and women consider very important, and we talked about attraction. And so some, certain things will bring your value down, if you will, or your potential down. It can. So making sure you're healthy, making sure you're mentally healthy, make sure you're physically healthy.
Jesus and therapy. Yes. Mental health. Men. We're gonna get some tea.
Jesus and therapy.
Men and women. Yeah. Go work. We black folk, we've been through a lot. Okay, you're 5 and 6 generations away from slavery. Yeah. Listen, you're traumatized. You were raised by yourself. You went from house to house. Some of us foster care and all types of stuff. Listen, go get some therapy. Yeah. My God, nothing wrong with it. You're not you're not crazy because you go to therapy. You're crazy not to if you know you need to. Yeah. Okay. Absolutely. Go to therapy. Listen, we're going to stop.
Yeah, I think we should.
Because we could be here all night.
We could have a part 2 if necessary. But,
if there are more questions, send them in.
Because this is a series.
This is a series. It's called Questions That Matter. Right. I wanted this to be a biblical series, man. I was looking forward to getting theologically deep and start talking about stuff that me being a Bible nerd or a theological geek, I wanted to discuss. I thought I was going to get into eschatology and all of that good stuff, but now I see I'm back here playing. I'm back here playing. Who was the host of the dating game?
I forgot it.
Yeah, I'm back here acting like I'm the host of the dating game.
But this was only because this was not the plan. As far as the questions that we did talk about tonight and answered. The only reason why we answered these questions because it came from Sunday's message, which again, go back and review Sunday's message. And a lot of questions came out of that message. And so we figured we would start tonight, this series with questions that came out of the message that Pastor John preached on Sunday. So go back, listen to the message, then come back and listen to this again. And then tune in next Tuesday for Questions That Matter, Part 2. And we will be discussing things like, we'll
see what comes in.
But the plan was, questions about God, theology, culture, biblical traditions.
Right.
Should women preach?
Right. What does it mean to be, what do they talk about when a woman should have her head covered? I think that was something. And then the positions of the church, how to fivefold ministry, how do I find my spiritual gifts? Different things like that. Questions that matter. Right. But Elder Hall, that's a great comment. Man, I wish you would have posted that earlier because I like that. He said it's like marrying a fixer-upper. High value men don't need your money, and so they overlook some things and want to fix things on her, probably, and don't want to fix things on her. So. Good comment. Absolutely. So listen, everybody, please join us next week. Let us know what you thought about this. If you have any questions, Please feel free to email us at connect@wetriumph.org. Connect@wetriumph.org. One more time, connect, CONNECT at wetriumph.org. And someone on our team will get it to me and we'll go from there. Thank God. God bless you. May heaven smile upon you. Take care. Be blessed. We'll see you next time.